Hey guys, welcome back to Untitled Artwork. We just thought it'd be interesting to hear an episode on all three of our goals for 2022 and see what we want to achieve as artists and together as a collaborative group. So we'll get straight into it. So yeah, I guess let's get straight into it. Callie, do you want to just tell us, like, as an individual, as you unto yourself, what are your main goals setting into 2022?
Yeah, of course. The goals for 2022 that I've got they're not necessarily sort of a destination goal that I've set for myself. I'm trying to focus more on the daily stuff. Personally, obviously I've got business goals which I'll go on to, but for me, like I got caught up in creating goals last year that I didn't really have any control of. Like one of them was like get to 10,000 followers on Instagram, and I realized halfway through the year that I've got no control over who follows me on Instagram. So this year I've sort of tried to just shy away from setting goals that I've got no input on at all. So I'm trying to focus more on the daily stuff this year. My health and fitness is at the forefront of it. Obviously I want to get me health back to where it was before last year. I want to train more in the gym, become more flexible, have less injuries, and just be a lot more healthier generally. Going to the gym's the main thing for me. I think especially in this environment that we're in, with everyone catching COVID and just the health crisis, that we're in the middle of a pandemic still, apparently. So I need to focus more on my own mental health and physical health as well this year. So that's a massive one for me. I've got a few I've got like goals that are all in brackets. Like I've got financial goals, health goals, and then business goals. I know business and financial sort of overlap, but I want to save and invest more money this year. I want to build up the businesses that I'm involved in this year. I want to give more to people. I want to speak to more people, just try and open more doors really, and be a bit more open with my communication. I know this year last year has been mad with, we've started a business on the side that has come from just doing exactly what I want to do for 2022 as well. So just more of that sort of open communication and looking for those opportunities. And yeah, that in terms of personally, they're sort of the things that I'm going to try and focus on. But I'm a lot more self-aware now than I was about. You only get those goals by doing stuff daily.
Yeah.
So, if you're constantly looking at, I need to achieve this, I need to get to that point, you're going to get caught up in that too much. And for me, I've got the goals actually written down. I'll just read them out now to you because I may as well have got them in front of me. So number 1 is meditate every day. So the benefits of meditation just seem to be well written upon, and I've never been able to do it. And it's something that I've always wanted to get into. I feel like the fact that I live on my own and I spend a lot of time on my own, I need that clear headspace, especially with all the negativities online and stuff nowadays.
Yeah.
Go to a yoga class once a week. Again, health and fitness based. That's just to keep me more flexible and less injury prone. Go to the gym 3 times a week. Spend at least an hour a day on personal and business projects. That seems like it's not a lot, but for me, just starting something leads me to spend well more hours on it each day. Mm-hmm. So it's just that start and focus of do an hour. Once you've done an hour, you'll do 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Number 5, save and invest at least 15% of my take-home income. So I've got an online investment account that I use with Vanguard. So I'm either putting the money into that or into the house that I've just bought. Number 6, speak to more people. Number 7, give more. Number 8, visit more places. And number 9, be permanently working from home this year. Now that sort of goes against the speak to more people one, but permanently working from home just means I can work from anywhere. And essentially, if that's what I'm doing, then I'm working on my own stuff. So it's a bit of a big step for me to do, and I'm hoping with the business projects that I've got this year, that's what it's going to end up doing. So yeah, they're my sort of main personal goals this year, and then the business stuff I think we can speak about once you've gone over your side of things. Really,
it's interesting because my personal goals are going to sound like not just different, but like from a different perspective to yours, I think, because I think you approach like everything in a little bit more of a
methodically.
No, not even that. I'm thinking more like from a holistic point of view. Like you seem to look at goals as like life goals rather than like I think of things a little bit more compartmentalized. Like and in the same way, like I don't think of like I want to like my goal is going to be more like I want to create X or Y, but then I don't actually then think of the business implications of that. So like my goal isn't going to like I'm not going to have a goal of like grow the turnover of my business by 25%. My goal is literally just going to be like create this kind of artwork.
Yeah, be
and
excellent.
And I don't think of the next 2 or 3 steps, whereas I think your goal is like the end step, and what you fill the steps along the journey with seem like they're almost less important to you. It's more about getting to the destination rather than what are the ABC of how you get there, whereas I only think of the ABC.
Yeah, well, sort of, but it's wrapped up in that daily stuff.
Yeah.
Like I have a sort of vision for the end goal, but if you look at all the goals that I've just mentioned, it's just do more of this. It's not like I want to have like just an example of financial one for the investment side of things. I haven't said I want to save and invest 20 grand this year. That's not my goal. My goal is to just save 15% and invest it of my monthly income. So I've sort of got a view on that end goal, but it's really just down to those daily wins. And if I do those daily things, I will be in a more advantageous position in 12 months' time than I am now.
I think maybe what I actually meant was listening to your goals makes mine feel a little bit childish. yours sound like the goals of an adult. Whereas mine will not sound as much like the goals of a fully fledged grown up.
Yeah.
Well, seeing as we're there, you might as well tell us. Yeah.
So I guess like one of my goals, which is weird because like I have such a strong perspective on always improving, like like a shark, don't stay still, you've got to keep moving or you'll die. But one of my goals is like I want to continue the trajectory of what I felt like my 2021 was like. I felt like from a professional and creative standpoint, it was a big curve upwards for me. Like, and that felt like pretty continual. Like I felt as though the work I was producing was getting better every time. The people I was working for, I loved working with everybody that I did last year, yourselves included. And I want to carry that on. So I don't have a next step to that. I just want to maintain that trajectory and that continued that feeling of working on stuff that I'm continually proud of and like continually like exceeding the last thing that I did. So there's nothing specific there, and it's not even something that I necessarily know. I don't think I'm going to change anything about my working habits, but I just want to continue the same mindset because I feel as though the way I worked and the work I created last year put me in that position. So I need to just continue to push that.
Yeah.
And then from like an individual point of view, so on New Year's Eve, actually, I posted a design I'd done based on the Star Wars TV show, The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And I really, really enjoyed putting that together. And in no measurable way was it one of like my better performing pieces online. Like, it's not a print that I've sold anything of. It's not got 1,000 likes or anything like that. But I want to produce more work outside of just football and outside of just sport. I want to try and do some more movie based posters or, you know, movie and pop culture based stuff. Because one of my specific goals is that within the next 12 months, I think I want to try and become affiliated with one of the online galleries or one of the online communities where they produce and sell like official pieces of art based on films. And so I was talking to somebody on Twitter yesterday. I messaged a few people like who I know produce art only in that world, and I just messaged them because one of the things that I thought immediately was like, you know, I've got a decent portfolio. Like there's not much film stuff in there, but you can look at it and go, yeah, he's a credible illustrator and artist. So I wanted to kind of just get a bit of a lay of the land as to, can I just approach these companies now and say like, hey, I'm an illustrator. You can see that like this kind of composition and this kind of thing is my vibe. I think it'd transfer really well into film related stuff. Would you guys be interested in me collaborating with you on something at some point? And basically the response from everybody was, yeah, you're going to just have to do some more film related stuff. Like the fact that I've done a lot of illustrated work kind of is going to count for unless, you know, a few of the pieces
look, in that field.
are film posters. So that is a specific goal of mine, is in the next 12 months I want to create between like 4 and 6 decent pieces of film related artwork so that I can hopefully start to open that avenue up as a viable channel of work for me. There isn't necessarily a super specific goal of that, but that's probably, from an art point of view, that's the main thing I want to do. Is I just, like, you know, by the end of this year I want to look back and say, here are 5 or 6 pieces of work based on these films.
Is that all the goals that you've got?
And then the other one is that I want to write another script for a short film. So in 2019 I released my last short film, which was a horror film, and it did really well. Like, it's on an online platform now called Alter. It's got like 500,000 views. It went to loads of festivals and stuff. So I want to get another short film in production.
On pornhub.com, you can get it now.
Well, I could just do that.
You want to start, mate? You want to start?
I mean, to be honest with you, the financial side of it would probably be far more lucrative.
100%. What about you, Carl?
Well, how do I follow from that? No, to be honest with you, my goals this year, a bit like yours, Dan, in terms of like, I want to go to the gym more. Personal goals, I want to go to the gym more. A good, like, I think 2015 or whatever, I was like in real good shape, and I felt really good about myself, and kids and life and everything kind of takes hold, and you get a bit older and it's harder to sort of maintain that level of fitness. So I do want to train more, and sort of the back end of last year I really got back into it. I was going 4 or 5 days a week, and I kind of want to prove to myself, like, I'm really one of these people that, you know, there's this kind of stigma as you get to a certain age, you can't do certain things.
Can't get in shape after 40,
and all that kind of, you know, nonsense. You see what about like footballers, you know, when they say, and a 36-year-old James Milner, and it's just like, yeah, he's a professional footballer. He's not dead because he's 36. Do you know what I mean? And obviously as I get older, and maybe you will be the same when you get to those milestones in your life, but I'm kind of like, I like to prove that I can do stuff. Even with the artwork side of things, and becoming an illustrator and changing jobs and jumping across to what I do now as a full-time job, a lot of that was also proof that I could do it to myself as an elderly member of the illustrative community or whatever you like. So going to the gym and just doing it more often and getting myself back in shape is one of the things. I want to do more client work this year, a lot more. I want to change the landscape of the way I work, in terms of, I want to be predominantly doing client work over selling prints and doing an art shop. I want that to be, and even to a point where I may eventually close my personal print shop, obviously, as we've got the print here that we've done together, and that might be another avenue that we go down as a team. But yeah, for me personally, I don't get a lot of client work, if I'm being honest with you. I don't know why. I don't know whether I move in the right circles, or whether I put myself or in touch with the right people, or whether it's just that I've kind of pigeonholed myself as somebody who sells prints and artwork to stick on your wall. I'm not entirely sure. I do get client work. It's not that I don't get any at all. I just don't get a lot, as opposed to other people who are in the same field. Again, I don't know why, but I'd like to try and work on myself, that I can put myself in a position where I do get more client work. I do get, it's funny because I do get a bit more work in the crypto field, which is technically client work, but that's only been sort of over the back end of last year, where we've sort of, you know, learned more about crypto and NFTs and this type of stuff, which is great. Yeah, I would like to try and have a year where I can just do more client work, do more portfolio stuff. I'd like to organize myself better. I wish I was as organized as you, Dan. Honestly, I genuinely do. I'm a shit show. I'm a mess when it comes to organization. I don't know whether that's because the previous job of working 20 years, I didn't really have to organize myself as much. But I'm very laid back, as I'm sure you lot know. Sometimes when my sister says I'm too chilled out, I'm too lax about everything, and I'd like to have a bit more structure in my life. I like this year to be, you know, again, whether it's I work doing illustration from 9 to 5, or whether, you know, I switch off at certain points. And as we were saying previously, it's you don't know when the creative juices are going to flow in your head. So it's quite easy for me to sit on the computer until 1, 2, 3 in the morning, easily doing artwork and stuff. But I would like to just be a bit more structured, a bit more, and dedicate certain time. So I'm actually dedicating these hours to my family and my life outside of what I do, and dedicating these hours to work. And they don't have to be completely structured, but I'd just be I like to have a guideline, so I know, okay, cool, you know, Saturday, Sunday, I'm not going to do a single thing on the computer. I'm going to go out with the family, go out with the kids, and do that side of things. And then, you know, Monday to Friday in these hours, I'll be working. But then, you know, that doesn't mean that if there's an important job I need to do, or there's a deadline I need to meet, I'm not willing to compromise on the fact that I need to work on a weekend. So these are just all, I mean, life goals in general, really, because I just think they'll make me better. Same as you, again, meditation is something I would really like to do. I used to use an app called Headspace. I don't know if either of you have used it.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, on iPhone, and you basically just take 5-10 minutes out of your day, and at a certain hour, and just, yeah, I'm a real strong believer in meditation and just psychologically resetting yourself, and just taking a moment to take a step back, because I think it's really important, you know, in life, that you don't let that tension build up in you, because it's really easy to do that, and you need to be a bit more relaxed. And I think if you can teach yourself in a way to just let things go at certain points, and just in general and in the long term, you will do it naturally. You'll do it naturally in situations. So yeah, that's another goal of mine, to do that. But I think I say all these things that I want to do, but unless I organize myself better, none of these things will really fall into play. And they're the sorts of goals I set myself. In terms of work, because of being freelance, I don't think you can ever really, you can set goals in stuff you want to create, and similar to what Yoni was saying, I do want to create stuff outside of sports, outside of football. As you know, I try to do a variety of different styles. I mean, I was looking at this print, and I think the 3 that I've done, all 3 of them are completely different styles, to a certain extent. And I would like to, you know, again, I'd like to not step away, but I'd like to also incorporate doing illustrations that's outside of football and outside of sports, because it's testing my boundaries, like, you know, like Yoni said, and it's teaching you to do something different, and it's opening again another door that you know, if Yoni does, like he was saying, does the film stuff, then he's opened up a door to being able to do that, you know, more long term, and another revenue stream. So yeah, for me, I'd like to be able to do stuff outside of sports, outside of football. But I think the main focus for me is going to be getting more client work and taking Untitled Artwork to the moon, which is what we're going to be doing together. So yeah, that's pretty much it, really, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
Cool, good podcast. Thanks, Carl. Bye. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Untitled Artwork.